make you wanna go and say that. And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I'd rather be colder.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Like 20.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might want
rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Good move by Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. 20, 10, touchdown LA. Todd Gurley, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Dante Fowler able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. On second down, Wilson. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 44 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, Other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On second down, here's Goff. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barkevious Mingo. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Returnable for Lockett. Oh, then the spin. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing is Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Started to look like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Open man, it's Madden. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Yeah, they got the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
Touchdown.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 23 yards on the play.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage. They still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the... He's got a man. Complete. 30. The 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist yet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is gone. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now it's gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Goff now on second down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Goff working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Goff now looking to throw. This is Bell on the dump-off. And they'll get this down to the 10. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime with a visit. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Dante Fowler in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And this will be caught at the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 39 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw is Wilson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office and the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
On the move to his left. this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Dante Fowler in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now it's Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Goff now to throw. A screen to Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And that is incomplete here. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That right there, his first incompletion so far in this game, Charles. He was 9 of 9 before that.
Yeah, I think that qualifies as being locked in. And then you have to ask him the question, so what caused the incompletion? Come on, man, get back on your game. Let's go.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now it's Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Deshaun Kaiser making his way out to the huddle. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays, because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it has given them good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that.
Doug Baldwin past the 20 and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 82 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Goff. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of it. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
We know it's tough enough to pick up 1st downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
On 1st down, it's gone. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Out of the gun, Goff. The throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Goff now looks to throw. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. They got a man. It's Woods. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Robert Woods, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider.
Well, Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down. Michael Brockers. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, it looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Kaiser. Open man, it's Madden. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Kaiser to throw it, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Deshaun Kaiser with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Goff got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Goff. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Here's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up 2nd down.
That's into the hands of Reynolds. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. To the air again, Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
On the stop was Aaron Donald.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second down, here's an option right. And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Seahawks, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles,
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in the hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break the bro codes. The more red rose, match with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax.
Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. What?
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They go play action here on first down. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing is Wilson. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He completes it to Boyd. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Here's Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Dante Moncrief. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with it. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Mixon last week, 17 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And Eifert has it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, they go.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
He's got his man, Boyd. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Here's Russell Wilson of the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
Now that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Nice pick, nice pick.
Successive penalties have him looking now at a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Check, crunch, crunch, crunch.
Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So from back deep, deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air there and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. This will be fielded at the 17. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He finds Latavius Murray. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now Wilson on 1st down. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, The punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Throwing, Dalton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Now Bernard. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Got his man, it's Eifert. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And he will go out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and it's 3rd down. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful. And it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right? No
doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
Bailey got the extra point, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Barkevious Mingo able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, but they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Nifty footwork at the 45. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And now running right through it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that will extend this big lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
To throw here, Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. An update from down in L.A. And that lead there for the Rams has extended. They just scored again. Jared Goff, 3 touchdown passes thus far. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front.
Murray fighting, lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vanette, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And it'll be Dalton again. flexing his muscle at the 30. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Avoids the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Green flexing his muscle. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Green. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. So Dalton now. And not able to get it that time. He'd hit on 6 straight passes. Not there. 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. 3rd down here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
The ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
And they just hit another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're good. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Wilson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Uses the stiff arm. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against